change it because we're going to win and we're going to beat crooked Hillary so badly that your heads will spin against Hillary. We're going to do so great. But you have to understand, folks, we haven't even started with crooked Hillary yet. We have not started the game.
Donald Trump this past weekend looking ahead to a general election with a sobriquet for the likely Democrat nominee. Henceforth, she will be known as Crooked Hillary. We continue our coverage of America Votes 2016 here on Newsmax TV, and we're joined by two additional panelists. First, Skyping in from New York City, the former Lieutenant Governor of New York, Betsy McCaughey, and she rejoins us, still with that vibrant smile on her face. Another guy with a big smile on his face, longtime Republican strategist and consultant, Roger Stone, who likewise is in New York. And tonight from Newsmax Washington, we continue to get the insights, analysis, and at times provocative opinions of syndicated columnist and noted economist Peter Morici. Roger Stone, to you first. A change in the Trump campaign, but really good numbers for the Donald tonight in his native New York. Your reaction both to the returns and to the revisions, if you will, in terms of the Trump staff.
Well, obviously, I'm very, very happy tonight. This was a sweeping victory. I think that it is a demonstration of the new team running the Trump campaign, bringing a greater level of sophistication and experience. Trump also, Donald and his family worked very hard for this. He campaigned through upstate, I think, in a very effective free media campaign. The bottom line, the Trump campaign is back on track, and I'm prepared to go so far as to predict that he'll hit the magic number by the first ballot, 1,237 votes.
So there is the prediction from Roger Stone that it will be done straight up on the first ballot, the needed 1,237 delegates. Betsy McCaughey, you've been talking with friends and neighbors in New York, obviously a big night for Donald Trump. Do you think he will maintain use of the sobriquet? What is that line? Crooked Hillary, that's the name. Is he going to use that, or will that new team get rid of those descriptions?
Well, it is certainly an apt line. Fish swim and Hillary lies. That's just the way it is. So when everyone hears that line, Crooked Hillary, they know what he's talking about. It has huge credibility. And let me just point out that one of the reasons Trump did so well tonight, of course it's his home state, but more than that, his message. Most Republican and Democratic politicians have proved they do not know how to keep and attract businesses to the United States of America. Donald Trump is going to bring the jobs back.
To that point, Peter Morici, as the economist here, the talk about foreign trade and the number of jobs lost remains a really hot political issue that Donald Trump has used quite well thus far.
And I think he should be able to continue to use that. The real trick for Mr. Trump is he's going to have to put more flesh on his proposals, on his ideas. If you go back to the Romney campaign and you look at what he said and what Trump is saying, it's very much the same thing about trade. They were just going to use a different mechanism to get that 40 to 45% tax on imports to level the playing field. But what Romney had was surrogates, because he had advisors who could get out and go on the talk shows and explain how he was going to do taxes, how he was going to do the various proposals he had. And so, you know, Trump needs that. He needs to build a team that's more than political operatives, but he needs a real foreign policy team, he needs a real economics team, and needs to get out there, because the one advantage that Hillary has is she can talk more substantively about the issues.
Romney lost. He doesn't need to duplicate what Mitt Romney did. Romney lost. And the fact is, Donald Trump is clearly delivering an economic message that resonates with the American public far more than Mitt Romney and his surrogates were ever able to do.
I think you think I'm taking issue with you. I'm not. What I'm saying is he needs a bigger megaphone on these things, because being critical of Hillary and calling her a liar through code words is not going to be enough. He has to make a more compelling case about why and how he's going to get it done. He said why he wants to be president. He has to give people more of the how, so they'll embrace him. I'm talking constructively here. And maybe Romney lost, but Obama won, and Obama did the very same kinds of things. These are things that successful candidates do. They build an intellectual infrastructure, and they have out in the field many people, surrogates, who can speak on their behalf and explain how it's going to get done.
And
because
we call
one person
on many
alone
voices.
Can't do that.
Understood. We call on
Right.
many voices, including our callers. And checking in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we've got Marianne on the line. Marianne, welcome to Newsmax TV.
Hi. Number one, I'd like to know why Mr. Trump and Mr. Cruz and Mr. Kasich, we don't have debates no more. Where are the debates? Because Mr. Trump was here in Pittsburgh the other night, and the next morning in the paper, they said everything he said about the trade and he'll bring the steel mills back or whatever he was saying, they proved he was a liar.
All right, well, let's turn to Roger Stone about the lack of debates. Are we in a situation where debates are advisable for any of these three remaining Republican candidates, Roger?
I'm not sure what we would learn in a debate that we don't already know. I do agree with Peter that Donald Trump has a very compelling, very dynamic pro-growth economic plan. He proposes to cut the corporate tax rate in the United States below that of China, which would, I think, have the effect of bringing a number of U.S. companies doing business there back to the United States to grow here, expand here, hire people here. He deals with the question of inversion, roughly $2 trillion that is offshore, would bring that back into the country to be taxed. It provides an overall tax cut for all Americans. The Trump plan has been praised by supply-siders like Larry Kudlow. And I think it's very important that Donald talk more about his growth model. This is a man who has himself created thousands of jobs. Hillary's never created a job in her life. So that is a comparison I look forward to.
Let me ask you one question, Roger, and I'd like Betsy to weigh in on this too. There was speculation earlier that one candidate in this race who's remained sobriquet-free so far is Governor Kasich. You look at the history of Republican politics, no Republican has been elected president without Ohio. Roger Stone, do you envision a Trump-Kasich ticket coming out of Cleveland?
I would say that because Donald Trump is a businessman, he generally has probably ruled nobody in or nobody out. Governor Kasich's support and beating the drum for NAFTA is problematic. NAFTA, TPP, these globalist trade deals that have been sold to the American people have destroyed our job base in this country. I believe Trump can win almost a third of the Sanders voters, not the hard left voters, but those blue-collar Democrats who feel left out of the globalist economy because of these international trade deals. So I wouldn't rule Kasich out or in. A lot of this, of course, as you know, JD, depends on whether Trump has 1,237 votes or whether he needs to build a vice presidential coalition to get over the top on the first ballot.
Let me turn to Betsy McCaughey for her thoughts on the ticket. Could you see Trump and Kasich?
First of all, I love the way Roger Stone thinks. So let me say that at the outset. Secondly, in our history, we know that many, many vice presidential nominees have had to swallow their past positions. There have been a lot of shotgun marriages, less amicable than the possible Trump-Kasich marriage. So it is possible. Trump has already said he will choose a professional politician to be his running mate.
All right, we will see what happens there. Peter Morici, with 15 seconds, you got a dog in the hunt for the Republican vice presidential nomination?
Well, I've already written a column on that indicating that Kasich would be the best choice, so we'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, Peter, we appreciate your participation tonight. Thanks very much. And Roger and Betsy, we'd ask you to stay right there. And wherever you're watching us from, we'd ask you to stay with us. Pick up your phone and give us a call here, because we'd love to hear what you have to say. Call us at 1-877-639-7629. Coming back with a caller from California and Donald Trump in his own words. Stay with us.